Hi, Rachel.
Hi,
Fiona.
Fiona, how are you?
Thank you. Nice.
Um, you said something in an interview that really speaks to Star Wars as a whole, and I really liked it because you compared this series to kind of living in a Trumpian world because Star Wars is intrinsically linked to politics, no matter how people kind of try and separate it. And it's really clear with your character that she is a woman who has been in this. She knows the struggle and she understands how that kind of fascist regime has taken over the world that she knows. And so I wanted to know for you as an actress, what was it about Marva that inspired you and made you want to be a part of this? Because she's so cool to kind of meet at this point in the rebellion.
Well, I don't think I ever said anything quite so political, but I did say it could be construed as that. And it could be also construed as the opposite. I mean, it depends. The very good thing about this series, I think, is that it stands as a map to, it doesn't take a side, it just stands as a map of the various sort of discomforts that exist in the world. So I think people from all sides of any political platform can see what they would see as what is oppressive, what is they agree with, what they don't agree with. So it's not that I would have any, I don't think it's trying to in any way push any one opinion. What it does do is show how refracted, it refracts the world that we live in, puts it in the future so we can look at it, because you can't see the present. When you're in the present, we're all in a mess. We're all making mistakes. Every side is making mistakes. Every side can't see the future. Otherwise, we'd make everything better. And we don't know how to make everything better. In the future, they also don't know how to make everything better because they're in their present. But we can look at ourselves through the future in the same way as we endlessly look at ourselves through the history. It's the unseeable history is what the future is. So I think in that way, you're dead right, is that, of course, it's the political world that shapes us personally. And the great thing about this series is that you have a lot of very, very three-dimensional people, all of whom are shaped by their society, by who they are, by their values, by their parents' values, but they live in a context that isn't altogether of their making. And the empire is always putting pressure on all these planets. So they're never free to really express themselves, to really be who they might be, no more than the rest of us are.
Yeah, and with Marva, I think the more I watched her, the more I was like, oh, she would love Leia. Like, if she is in this, when Leia is, she's going to love her. And so I wanted to know who is like a character that you want to see Marva with in the future, given this world that she's kind of she's starting the rebellion essentially.
I don't suppose I could answer what would she, if she was, given that we're not even in that future. But I could say that I think she starts the rebellion, not because I don't think people start rebellions heroically. I think they start them in desperation, because no rebellion comes out that happily. It does eventually lead to some change, but change also brings with it, I suppose, split factions. Factionization is absolutely ignited by rebellion. So rebellion isn't just goodies against baddies. Rebellion is
Yeah.
daring to open up a society to have a look, and therefore lots of innocent people get hurt. I mean, and that is why I think people don't rebel all the time, because you can see what could happen. And at the moment there's a huge war raging on the east of Europe, and did anyone know on day one the extent to which people suffer? I think we always underestimated. So I think Marv is very loath to encourage rebellion, but people do encourage rebellion at the moment that they feel that there's nothing left to lose. And I think that's a really important point, is that people don't become brave by banging their chests and shouting. It's only when you really know that you can't stand anymore that you begin to rebel.
I can't wait for everyone to get to meet her. I think she's so cool. I love her very much. And I love this show. So thank you so much for talking with me today.
Well, lovely to meet you, and thank you for
Have a
your
great one. Of course. Thank you.